What's happening everyone, my name is Alex and welcome to a new review. For today we have a $26 Android TV box called the T95D, but you know how it is, you get what you pay for. So for specs we have the Rockchip 3229 CPU, this is a quad-core CPU, we also have 1 GB of RAM, 8 GB of internal storage, and supposedly the device is running Android 6.0.1. Well, that's what it says on most websites that I checked. Now, in reality, this actually comes with Android 5.1.1, so not Android 6 as advertised. Let's start with a very quick unboxing. So the T95D comes in a black box that has the model name on the front, but we don't see any specs anywhere on the box. Inside you're going to find the TV box itself, you're also going to find the user manual. The user manual is in English and it's got some instructions and a couple of pictures. We also have an HDMI cable, the power adapter, and this is the same power adapter that we've seen in the past. And lastly, the remote control. The remote control, it's not that useful and I do recommend using a wireless keyboard and mouse for a much better experience. The T95D, it's made out of plastic entirely, but it doesn't feel as cheap as it is. So on the top there we see the model name and we also have a power on-off button. On the front we have a small display that can show you the time and if the box is connected to the Wi-Fi or through a cable, or if we have any USB sticks plugged in. And speaking about USB sticks, on the left hand side you're going to find a USB port and a slot for an SD card. Since this is running Android 5.1.1, you're not going to be able to install an SD card as internal storage. And speaking about the internal storage, out of that 8 gigs that comes with the device, we only have about 5 left, and the speeds that I got for the internal storage, well, they're very low. And moving to the back of the device, there we have the port for the power adapter, we also have the second USB port, the network adapter port, the HDMI out and the AV. DTS sound and Dolby Digital sound cuts in and out every couple of seconds, so if you have any video files that you're planning to watch with surround sound, that's not gonna happen on this device. Performance wise, well, for $26 don't expect that much, so the scores that I got on the Antutu benchmark, the Geekbench 4 and the iStorm Extreme are very low. And pretty much everything that you're gonna do with this device is done in slow motion, so very slow. Wi-Fi connectivity was surprisingly good for such a cheap device, but we don't have dual band Wi-Fi, so you're only gonna be able to connect to the 2.4 GHz Wi-Fi bands. The speeds that I got over Wi-Fi and over a wired connection were okay, but not the best that I've seen. This doesn't come with root access from the factory, and as you'd expect there is no Netflix in HD, but that's pretty normal for all these Chinese TV boxes. And we are moving to online streaming apps. So the first app that I tried was the YouTube app, and the maximum resolution that you're going to be able to select is 720p, so not 1080p, only 720p. And all the videos that I watch, well, they're not that smooth, so you can see for yourself that they don't go that well. I've also tried the Showbox app and that one works decent. Of course, it takes a while to actually load, and when you start a movie or a TV show, it does work okay, but not the best that I've seen. And lastly, Kodi. So this comes pre-installed with Kodi 16.1. However, this is not actually called Kodi, it's called something else. And I've also checked the Google Play Store for any updates, but there are no updates available. So if you want Kodi 17, you're gonna have to uninstall that copy of Kodi 16.1 and then install a fresh copy of Kodi 17. Now, the one that comes pre-installed comes with a few add-ons, and some of them actually work. And as you can see for yourself, once you start a stream, it does seem to go okay without any issues. But let's keep in mind that Kodi pretty much works on anything available on the market. You can even play some games on this, but keep in mind that this doesn't have Bluetooth connectivity, so you're gonna need a controller that has a USB dongle. So I played Real Racing 3 and I have to say that this played better than I was expecting. Only have 1 gig of RAM, multitasking seems to work okay, and when I say okay, it's very slow, but yeah, some apps are still running in the background. But keep in mind that switching in between apps takes quite some time. Whatever you've seen now was fast forwarded, but in reality it's very slow to switch in between apps. So after using this for a couple of hours, I can tell you that this TV box is very slow, as in painfully slow. Anything that you do takes a long time to do, and me personally, I could never use something like this. But next I'm gonna start recording the screen. I wanna show you how the launcher looks, and then we'll try a couple of video files so you can see how this would perform for day-to-day tasks. The launcher doesn't look too bad, but its functionality is somewhat limited, and of course you can easily install another launcher from the Google Play Store. Unfortunately, everything is done in slow motion, so let me click on that plus right there. So it takes like a second for something to happen, and if I click back again, another second. At least we have the navigation bar at the bottom of the screen, and you can also hide and bring this back up whenever you need it. And that means that we also have the navigation bar on top. We don't get that many apps that come pre-installed. We have the browser, we have the file explorer here, Netflix, the Play Store. This year it's Kodi 16.1, so the KD player, it's actually Kodi 16.1. And of course we have the settings and a wireless update, but there are no updates at this time. The settings app is the same settings app that we've seen for past Android TV boxes and basically for all other Android devices running Android 5.1. And if I click at about device here, we can see the model number, which is the T95D, and the Android version, which is 5.1.1. I just want to quickly show you the languages that are available. So languages and input, and I'm just gonna scroll through them and hopefully you can see the one that you may be interested in. Next we are gonna check out some video files so you can see which one works and which one doesn't. So the first one is gonna be this one. So I'm just gonna click on it. As I said before, everything is done in slow motion, so everything takes a while to actually start or to happen. So it just started and I'm gonna skip forward. And even though the TV box is not the fastest out there, the playback seems to do okay, at least for this file. So we're gonna stop this one and we'll move to the next one. This is the next one right here. So I'm gonna click on it. Again, it's in slow motion. And since this is a 3D file, that's why you're actually seeing it like this, because if I have a 3D TV, I could actually watch a 3D file. So we'll stop this one, and as I said, everything is done in slow motion, so it takes a while for things to happen, and I can't even stop the file right now. And after a few tries, we are back here, and we're gonna try this 4K file at 59 frames per second. Let's see if this one actually works. But again, I clicked on it and nothing is happening. Oh, it's about to start. So we see a black screen, and it works, but in slow motion. Oh, and now it's just stopped. So let's see if we can get out of this file. So this one doesn't do good at all. The next one is gonna be this one, another 4K file at 50 frames per second. And this one also works, but in slow motion. So we'll stop this one if we can, and we'll try this 720p file. And look at that, this one actually works okay. So I think we're gonna stop here, because this TV box is definitely not a great TV box to get, and I wouldn't actually recommend that anyone buys this device. But now I can't exit this. So there you have it. This is the T95D. This is probably among the worst that I've ever tried, because everything is pretty much impossible to do and everything is done very, very slow. Alright guys, hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did like it, don't forget to press that like button, don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.